Here we are again with the Winner Is video, and a blast from the past. Camilo Villegas. We haven't seen him in the winner's circle since 2010, and that's a long time. But let's look at his swing. Let's look at the face-on view first. And in this one, we're good grip, kind of pigeon-toed on his stance. His feet aren't turned out at all. But let's watch him as he takes it back. So we'll see it better from the other angle, but he definitely, when he turns his shoulders, he turns them pretty steeply. The right shoulder's going up, the left shoulder's going down in terms of going around his spine. And so far, and I kind of drew a line beside his leg just to give you a reference for how much lateral movement he has. So you start to see his head is getting a little bit lower. The camera was moving a little bit, so we can't 100% trust that. So we see, which we see in every player, the one thing I've pointed out to you is how we always see width. And, sometimes the turn happens late, but we do see turn. We've tended to see the players get a little bit lower, so that's them, kind of storing up the energy, just like you're getting ready to jump in basketball. You go down, to then explode up, and so there's just a little bit of that as part of going back. So then now, as he starts forward, he moves laterally. You see him move all the way over. He's also turning. And look how much his head has lowered. Great angle, in terms of the wrist hinge. So he's waiting. And you see the handle, as we've seen in all the good players, we see that handle get up to the left thigh. So, and he's got a lot of shaft length, so he's taking that, let's just say it's a 7-iron. He's taking it and turning it into a 5-iron. So look at that much shaft length. That ball's been hit. So whatever's the loft of that club, he's de-lofted it 6 degrees, 8 degrees, a ton. And then you see after impact, still very firm wristed, right wrist still bent back. And then around he goes. And one thing with Villegas, it definitely didn't seem like that he turned as much, that it was just a little bit more lateral, not quite as much hip turn, and then around he goes. So, again, a couple things that we've seen in all the players that we've looked at so far, and then once again we see the individuality of Camilo. So then now we look from the down the line view, and we get a look at his swing plane. So we got good posture. He's got that club head, which we have tended to see. We've tended to see the club head just a little outside the hands. And that head starts to drop. And you just look at how his shoulders, how vertical they are, how steep his shaft is right there. So he's really, gone back off plane with a steeper shaft. But that's pretty, very preferable. So he gets to the top, and then we see the prerequisite. You see that club loop or lower and come back on plane. I wanted to make sure and do an iron today. We've done so many drivers. I wanted you to see an iron. So with his driver, he's a little bit shallower than that with his driver at that point. So you see the hips clearing again. Look how much his head has lowered compared to where it was. He's got, remember, that shaft way out in front. And so he hits the ball. The club tracks left through impact. And again, he's hitting an iron shot. Very firm wristed. Very solid. So congratulations, Camilo. Good to see you back on the scene. We need the Spider-Man, and if you need more help, check out our U-Swing system to help your game.